and welcome back to the Big Fat Gay Podcast, where we love to talk about the things that are weighing on our minds. My name's Don Marshall, and today I am a happy, well-caffeinated boy. I have my latte in front of me, and I am ready to go and raring to talk about some awesome stuff. We've got a good show lined up for you.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Dan Oliverio, author, public speaker, and chubby chaser. And today I am do I have a lot of shit to do kind of boy. I have so many things coming down the pike in the next 72 hours. And here we go. Yay.
I'm Trevor Keyson. I'm a super chub, and today I'm a last day of solid food boy because I'm having a colonoscopy on Tuesday. So
what's his name? Sorry.
Tomorrow I'm going to be doing an all liquid diet and blasting my colon clean for the cameras.
For the cameras. Oh, that's a hell of a way to put that. Hi, my name is Michael Willer. I am a chubby chaser, and today I am a delayed reaction coffee boy because I only just got my coffee delivered to me. So
you're going to get to my level of caffeination about halfway through the episode.
Yeah, give me about 20-25 minutes. We'll be there. We'll get there. It'll happen.
Well, welcome back to the episode, everybody. We are very happy to have you with us. We also want to encourage people to go to Bearskin, order some sexy underwear from our wonderful partners over there. And you can use our Big Fat Gay Pod code to get 15% off on your order. Also, a thank you to Big Fig, that awesome mattress company that helps us every time you buy a mattress with using our Big Fat Gay Pod link. Also, a quick reminder, we are now putting out a monthly, it's a monthly newsletter, Dan? Or
yeah, sure, let's say that.
We're putting out a Danly newsletter. It comes out on a Dan schedule.
It does. Did I mention how much I have to do?
Yeah, which has some awesome content on there. It's a lot of the content from the show and some other stuff that you might want to take a look at. But if you want the whole schlemiel, if you want to engage in the whole schlemazel, the thing you want to go for is our incredible Discord, where we have lots of active conversations on many different topics. Some dealing with fatness, some not dealing with fatness, some dealing with sex, some not dealing with sex, some dealing with dating, some not dealing with dating. All over the board is what I'm saying, people.
Yeah.
Come visit the Discord, share your thoughts, get some thoughts from other people. And with that said, let's move on to pop culture.
Twist of fate, Trevor has decided to put the Gen Xer on the most poppy culture beat stories.
Look, we have a rotation, and sometimes the rotation favors.
I went through this entire list of personalities. I could recognize 4.
Oh, good. That's 4 more than I did. So Rolling Stone has come out with their list of most influential creators of 2025.
And for other Gen X people, to clarify, this is like TikTok, Twitter, those types of creators.
Yeah.
So Caleb Hearon is number 6. And you say, who is Caleb Hearon? He is a really funny, fat, gay comic. And he has a YouTube chat show.
Yeah, it's a podcast, but podcasts typically these days are done along with, video so that you can create social media clips and stuff to help promote the podcast. So he has his podcast.
Yeah, and he has guests on, and he has a lot of interview style. He had his mom on, he has stars on.
It's called So True with Caleb Hearon.
Yeah. And so he got ranked number 6, which is, only 5 slots away from number 1.
Yeah.
So, we thought, how great. He was the only person I recognized until I realized he wasn't Josh Gad. Whom he looks like.
There's sort of a 1-2 punch here that is, I think, particularly delightful. So Caleb Hearon, that alone is good enough to celebrate this particular thing. He's getting recognition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
By the way, bearing the lead, he is in the Devil Wears Prada sequel. That's incredible. It's going to be so much fun. He's also in the 2024 film Sweethearts on HBO Max. So he's kind of just taking off after having been doing this for, obviously he's, paid his dues. He's done this for a while. He's a comic, but at the same time, and I know this is where Dan and Don get lost.
No, I got it. I'm going to do this.
Okay, please.
So Dan's ready. He's been practicing.
In the slot directly behind Caleb Hearon is Mr. Beast. Yes, champion of toxic masculinity.
I wouldn't know. Okay, I feel like that's not... Mr. Beast is terrible, but I feel like he's not toxic masculinity. So he is known for, he would do these charitable things, but in the most weird way of I cured 107 blind people.
Yeah, it's kindness content. He goes up to a homeless guy and says, I'll give you $1,000. And then it becomes about what will the homeless person do for $1,000. And he gets to look, like a good guy because he's giving out money to the poor. But in actuality, he's just essentially underpaying them to be actors in his content.
Yeah.
And so it's called kindness content. It's gross, but a lot of people love it because it makes them sort of like feel good by proxy. And there's a weird defense of it, which is like, I know that he's not really doing great things in general, but it still feels good. And it's like, well, but that's not like, do you hear yourself?
It's like smoking.
Yeah.
I can't quite put it. For me, it's like there's this channel called The Dodo that's all about like people rescuing lost animals.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Beast feels like that, but for people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look at him do a nice thing for this poor downtrodden person.
So he came in at number 7, a slot behind our hero. And so he starts a beef and he's like, what do you mean? I'm behind this guy? He doesn't even have 1 million followers. Well, no, he has like 1.8
To be fair.
But yeah, exactly. Mr. Beast has like hundreds of millions.
Yeah, it is, I think, genuinely true that Mr. Beast has more
reach,
like just influence as a currency.
Yeah.
But also he's been around for a lot longer and Caleb is on the rise. Yeah. And so I think there's an element of he is new. I mean, he's not new, but like he's new to the zeitgeist.
I was going to say this feels like such a specific kind of crash out of like, it's high school and like
I can't believe she's prom queen.
Caleb wins vice president when there is like the like overachiever who has dedicated everything to like, I am going to be vice or, the class president. And Caleb's just like, oh, me? Like, like, thanks, guys.
So he starts this, I'm really this guy. I'm second to him. I'm behind him. And Caleb claps back. He reposts Mr. Beast's tweet and just says, I am so honored to be number 6.
Just contextualize it. Doesn't actually comment on it. And then it escalates. And it sort of became this thing of like all of Caleb's fans, but also all of Mr. Beast's detractors, of which there are many, started tearing Mr. Beast down for being such a shitty, sore loser.
Yeah.
And so then he deletes the tweet and says,
I love this.
I don't want any smoke from you guys. Can we just let it go, please? Like,
stop the shooting. There's too much smoke.
Begging forgiveness. And I think it very much speaks to me what his brand is, which is spinelessness.
Yeah. Well, because he'll do anything for the algorithm.
And he knows that he has the comfort of influence and power, but the instant you take away those comforts and kind of expose him for just like, who are you really? Like, do you entertain people or do you just have money?
Yeah.
Then you start to see the cracks.
Yeah.
For me, it was just entertaining because it's the first time as an outsider I've observed a status quo element in the new media fighting back against new people trying to come into the new media.
Yeah.
So it's the first one I've obviously seen.
I don't even get the rubric for the ranking. It is not disclosed and it seems completely random. I think they just pulled names out of a hat.
I don't think so. I think they had a board of people doing it. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. I bet they probably contributed names. I bet there was a ranking system.
Yeah, sure.
I think in the same way that you can't necessarily empirically rank fashion sense, but you can still get fashion experts to determine what
best dressed.
Yeah, like it's obviously not purely about the numbers, but I'm sure the numbers have a big influence. Like you're just getting people who are very plugged into this stuff to talk about like, and by the way, let's not forget Rolling Stone is also exerting their own influence to help push certain influencers in different directions. Like it's all part of the same,
algorithm,
the same churn. Yeah. I don't necessarily think it's like not relevant just because it's not empirically true. I think it's more
I'm not saying it's not relevant. I'm just stymied by what could possibly make the difference between number 6 and number 10.
Aura, Dan, aura.
Exactly.
At any rate, Caleb Hearon is getting more successful by the minute and we love to see it. And that is the main takeaway.
And I'm here for that.
Do you feel it, people? Do you feel the wind? Do you hear the cry?
Fat Watch 2025.
The winds of fat, the winds of change, the winds of CNN Health. A piece from Madeline Holcomb. Something that I feel like is kind of a bit of a like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
Weight stigma isn't just cruel. It makes losing weight harder.
Right.
Hot off the press from 2005.
Yes. So it's from CNN Health. It's something we've talked a lot about in different publications talking about it. But I felt like it was like kind of a big deal to see CNN Health doing this.
Yes.
Right.
And I feel like it's a very nice, digestible way to kind of introduce the idea of like weight stigma and weight stigma making weight loss harder for people to family.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think the value in this, to me, there is a degree of it's something here because they do still use a lot of language that is like people should lose weight and people should be healthier, which is to be not fat. Like there's undertones of that. It's not explicitly said. But I think the more important element is that you have, major publication like CNN talking about something that is focused on the mental health aspect as opposed to purely, well, your BMI, like they actually take down BMI in this article. And I think that like those kinds of markers, even if it doesn't quite go as far as maybe we would like, that's still a big deal in a publication this large.
It's huge. Yeah.
And it's not an insubstantial article too. Like they actually go for quite a ways. They have interviews, and I appreciate that they took it that far and particularly had the focus on the mental health ramifications, because I think that's like not talked about enough and is vitally important.
Yeah. And in American media, there is a absolute necessity to, fair and balanced. We must show that being fat is a death sentence. We must show that. We must talk about that. But can we give the fatties a little sense of relief? Because, harping on them all the time keeps them out of the gym, just makes them feel more depressed, and then they just shove more food in their face. So there is that tendency of like, it would be irresponsible of us not to call out how deadly being fat is. Like there's always that in the background. But this does make, as Michael points out, great strides towards the mental health aspect.
Yeah. And again, I feel like when we look at fatness content over the course of 5 years, we've seen so many articles of this type. It's really easy for us to start rolling our eyes. But the fact is, I feel like mainstream people tend not to click on articles that don't directly impact them in some way. So these articles coming out repeatedly over time increases the chances of somebody seeing it when their life is intersecting with fatness in some way that makes them willing to listen to the viewpoint.
Yeah.
So an article like this, that I would call this an empathy article.
Yeah.
They literally list ways that telling people they're fat makes it harder for them to lose weight if that's what they want. And they show how, and they explain it. And that's it. And
it's great.
What's more valuable than that to somebody who hasn't had to experience it themselves?
Yeah. And there's nothing more useless than telling a fat person they're fat. Like they know this. They've been told that they're usually their whole life. I want to ask you, have y'all noticed that, whenever we go and reread one of these articles, there's unquestionably ads that will appear either interspersed or at the end or whatever. Now look at this. Now look at this. And then the ads directly following it is how they can be better people by losing weight. The one that struck me is the 5 swimsuits that make you look better.
The tummy control swimsuits.
Yeah. Advertisers, not CNN, but they have
these are CNN articles.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, these are CNN articles. I'm looking at the list right now.
Oh, that's it.
And I have to say, of the 6 articles they say on my up next list, one of them is not body changing related, and that one is about 14 of the most sustainable clothing brands to help you feel better about your closet. That's as positive as it gets. The rest of them are about like how to change you.
The point being, we need to drown out those voices somehow, which means we need more of these. We just need quantity, people. Just keep printing the same thing over and over again.
Well, it's actually in the article. One of the things the article talks about that's really great is the amount of internalized anti-fat bias. Like, I am a worse person for not being able to lose weight. Like, people internalize that message. And that's why you have these advertisements, even if they're internal advertisements for their own publication. That's why they're there, because the same person reading this article will click on that article. And it's internalized. And that's what, according to the article and according to us, we need to break.
Right. They address it in there. Like they say, you're going to get this kind of messaging whether you like it or not. It's just in our society. There's no real extricating that from.
They point out that these messages, like there's these harmful messages in media and on social media. Like, it's
surprise, it's
us.
Here's some for you.
The call is coming from inside the house.
You got whiplash yet? Yeah, it's still something. It's pointing at the problem, and it is actually the problem. And so you got to at least help the algorithm understand that these are the articles we want more of.
Mm-hmm. I just want to cap this by saying the contradiction that we're pointing to now, it's everywhere. It's like fatties should lose weight, but I don't want to see them in the gym. They should be dieting, but why do we have to have all these diet plates and stuff? Like there's every time you tell a fat person to do something, then there's the reaction against them when they do it.
Yeah.
I will say, as we are not supposed to, I did click the comments.
Oh, Trevor.
Because it was 4 comments. And I'm like, that's
literally where I am right now,
it's such a low amount. And I'm like, I feel like these are actually like not bad for a very mainstream site. Because usually it's like, oh, fat's maybe not that bad. And then there's like 3,000 comments.
What? The only way I lost weight was by people beating me and making me cry every day.
And I'm a better person for it, you mother.
And that's what I tell my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you, Madeline Holcomb. Thank you, CNN. It's something.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. And as we point out, CNN, yay.
Yeah. Okay, so main topic time. We had an interesting moment when we were doing our call where it kind of popped up the idea of the red flags you encounter when you meet somebody new of, oh, this might be somebody who's going to slime me, maybe in this conversation, maybe in the next, but at some point there is going to be a sliming about fatness. And basically how you can recognize those red flags, or if you do recognize them, like maybe what there is to be done about it, or, maybe there doesn't have to be anything done about it. And you can kind of just put them in the nice little neat category that they belong in and kind of just contextualize everything that way. But I kind of wanted to start with like maybe a couple examples of red flags, if that works for you guys. Like, what are some things that have stuck out? So I have a handful here.
I've got one. I
think the one that really triggers me the most is food shame and food morality talk.
Yes.
Like
100%.
Yeah, because oftentimes you're meeting new people around food, whether it's at like a party or, you're out to dinner with a group and, people will be looking at the menu and they would say, oh God, I would never order that, too many calories, or
I'm going to be bad.
The one that really kind of gets under my skin, maybe even more so than that, it's when people don't care about food at all and they look at people who do like they're crazy, where it's truly just like, I would eat gray paste for lunch every day if I could, because that's the fastest way to eat gray paste. And like, I can't believe you'll eat that. Like, that's such a waste of different, and it's like the utilitarian aspect of food can only be fuel. And if it's anything more than fuel, if it's pleasure, then it's bad for you. It's like,
I got such a great story, but I'm gonna let Don talk.
Totally know what you're talking about there. With those type of people, I never have a hostile engagement with them. All of my interactions with them tend to be so gray and flavorless,
just bland,
like that. I tend to forget those people. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's a pattern.
Yeah.
So I was traveling in Spain with my boyfriend at the time. This was in the 90s. And he had a friend whom he knew who had moved to Spain, but she was German. And she was a vegetarian in Spain in the 1990s, which is kind of like being allergic to oxygen. If you're not eating pork in Spain, I'm sorry, what else is there? It's like vegetarianism in Spain in the 1990s was, we only use beef broth.
Yeah, and alternative diets in like pre-2000 were like really weird. Like you were making a statement.
So she was vegetarian and we were in Barcelona and she lives there. And we were like, holy crap. I mean, what do you eat? And she was talking about, well, we can have cheese and I can have cheese and potatoes and I can have potatoes and cheese. And sometimes I put egg in the potatoes and cheese. And we're like looking at her horrified and we're like, that's awful. How do you survive that? And she said, apropos of Michael's comment, wow, you guys really care about food.
Oh my God. And like, okay, let me just put this out there. If you don't care about food, I don't understand you, but that's fine. It's actually fine. But don't make other people weird or wrong for liking food. That's where I draw the line. That is where it's not okay.
Are we doing that by pointing out how weird they are by not liking food?
No, I mean, that's why I just said what I said. Like, I think, yes, I don't identify with that, but also like always, every time I've had that conversation with a person like that, it has come out almost immediately that liking food makes you kind of weak. It's like you are consuming the kinds of food that aren't fueling you properly. Like I use food to make my brain and my body stronger. You use food because you like it, you sick fuck.
It's
like,
a form of healthism.
Yeah, it's very much healthism. And so like I truly don't care one way or the other if that's how you like to eat, but it's never just that. What were we talking about? Like raw dogging a flight where you just sit on the flight and do nothing but stare at the seat in front of you as a way of showing that you can, I guess.
I would be reporting you to the stewardess within 5 minutes. I've got a suspicious person next to me.
The only way if someone could do that is if they had a bomb. Yeah.
Like as with this, like, I don't care if you do that, but don't make it sound like you're some kind of like moral like guru because you've figured out a way to be better than everyone else because you don't need the entertainment of, you know, a phone or a TV, you know, of a show or a movie or whatever, that you're somehow better that because you don't need that. Like that's where it feels shitty to me.
Can I offer up a tangent to that where if a red flag is a bad thing and a white flag is surrender, let's go with the green flag. I've met a couple different people in my life where like, I don't know why, but like, maybe it's because I was fat. I don't know. But like within an hour of us talking and sort of connecting, there's a suggestion of like, it's not the I want to be naughty and go get an ice cream, but it's like, let's go share an ice cream, right? Like they're offering something fun and awesome as a way to bond and exchange. And that's a green flag for me, right? Like the person that can approach a coffee meetup with excitement over it's not about the coffee. We're going to share something. We're going to exchange, right? That's somebody that I want to have a coffee with. I
feel like it's tied into, you know, they also don't want to deal with the sliminess of food shaming. And so when they realize that you're not going to do that, they probably get excited and like, like, let's go eat something good and not worry about shitty comments and judgment.
So I feel like this is a good kind of pivot from that. It's a red flag. And I feel like this is controversial a little because I feel like this is something that like fat people won't get. I feel like Dan and Michael will, and like maybe some of the chasers listening, but the people who are very like, it's kind of a new group of people and they're suggesting like, well, let's just like walk all over the city or like, let's go for a hike. Or it's like when someone is very like, I love to just like spend the day walking the streets and just this like complete absence of just accessibility.
Do they live in LA? I can't imagine.
Like that's not a thing at all.
I would say empathy for who they're talking to. They're not including you in their plans. They're just expecting you to match their plans.
I think Michael has stories about this.
Yes.
So my family's very much like this. And I've been able to kind of like educate them slowly and gently over the years where it's now not just assumed that that's okay. It's sort of like, well, we could do this. But there's very much that thing of like, and I love my family. I always have to preface this with that because it's true. And just because I'm highlighting things that I don't like about the interactions, doesn't mean that's all of it. But oftentimes when I'm in Seattle visiting family, the house is up on this hill, and to get to the public transit, like light rail station, you have to go down this set of huge set of stairs. It's like probably over 100 stairs, very steep. And going down it is one thing. Just for an able-bodied person, going down it is one thing. Like you go down and like whatever. But the insistence, whenever it is that we're done in the city with whatever it is that we're doing, the insistence to take public transit back and walk back up the stairs when actually we could just get a lift, and we're all like well-paid professionals who can fucking afford a lift. But there is an insistence that we do the stairs because the stairs are good for you, even though the stairs fucking suck.
It's more virtuous, Michael. It's more virtuous.
Yeah, exactly. And it also comes up in like, we'll find parking and it doesn't matter if it's 7 miles away. We'll just walk it. It's fine. And it's just like, well, no, that's actually not fine. I don't like, even just myself, I'm not even talking about like the exclusion of fat or disabled people. Like that is not something I want. I don't want to be sweating when I show up somewhere. Like that sucks.
Oh my God.
But it's just assumed.
I am so particular about parking, not only is it right in front of the place, but also Trevor has watched me drive around a parking lot looking for sufficient shade for the car.
Oh, yeah,
so that it is not overheated when we get back.
In the Southwest, shade's a big deal.
Because I will walk farther if there's shade at the end of that rainbow.
Yeah, I get that.
I want to introduce a slightly different red flag. So this is when I'm meeting people, right? I meet a lot of people in a professional environment, which starts with a handshake. Aggressive holding to make a point is a very red flag for me. So when they reach out, they take your hand, they clasp the back of your hand with their second hand in order to shake your hand with both hands, and then hold on to your hand too long on the handshake to make a point while they're talking to you, because it forces engagement.
Yes. They've been taught that.
They're literally, they are demanding your attention and forcing you to engage with them during the handshake, as long as they choose to hold the handshake.
Yeah.
And they will always choose too long. And this is something, I hate to sound like I'm prejudiced against a specific group, but whenever I worked with evangelicals, that is how they would shake my hand at the start of a first meeting, always.
Yeah.
They would grab me, and more than once I had to pull free, you know?
There was coverage of how Trump kind of does that. And when he first was president, kind of like world leaders getting prepped for that and how to like maintain control of the handshake, because he was a wild card of like, they would show the footage of like him just not letting people's hands go.
Yeah.
Well, because he's trying to get as many photo clicks as he can while he's got them.
Well, a part of it that I'm curious about is also like, I'll notice I am the one guy in my business group that they do that to, for example. And one of the things I'm wondering is like, is it a masculinity thing because I'm bigger than them usually?
I was just thinking that.
Or is it a whiteness thing because I'm the one brown guy in the group?
So there's a perfectly relevant clip from 30 Rock.
Oh, really?
Yes, Angie, she's Tracy Jordan's wife / reality show superstar, fat black woman. And at one point, Liz is trying to manipulate her and puts her hand on her shoulder like, oh, it's okay. Like, and Angie just snaps at her like, did you just use your white hand to control my body? It's just like the perfect little microcosm of exactly this, which is like the privilege of comfort. I can cross through your boundaries, through your personal space, and go there without asking in order to exert a degree of influence over you. Like, it is off-putting. It can be kind of shocking. It's just like, whoa, why am I being touched right now? And it'll throw you off of what's actually being said or talked about. And like, that is absolutely the point of it.
As a millennial, I feel like the only reason I would like really do that is like, it's like, are we having a moment? Are we about to kiss? I hate shaking hands. I always.
But come on, Trevor. You think any physical contact is prelude to a kiss?
No, I see our behind the scenes for this week. No, I just always thought handshakes were weird and stupid, and like being taught to like shake a hand like a man when I was a kid. I'm like, this is just weird. And like, I guess fist bumps came from just that being weird. I just want to like wave at someone and like maybe a little like quick hug, a little like Parisian hug.
Dap them up. It's the perfect alternative to the handshake. That's like,
I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
So I have one, and I'm curious to y'all's reactions. If someone says they like or watch 1,000-Pound Sisters, My 600-Pound Life, any of those shows, it is immediately like, even if it's a fat person chaser, it's like, I don't, nope, immediately like hit the eject button, fly out of my fighter jet.
I want to know, I have never met, I'm sure they exist, and maybe y'all have found them in the wild. I have never met anyone who watches those shows except for porn.
I know
that they are gainers or encouragers or maybe a chaser, and they're watching it for porn. I don't know any fat person who's like, gosh, I really wanted to see their journey.
I mean, they were a super successful show that ran for a decade.
But I think that's thin people. I think that's thin people laughing at fat people.
I've known a number of like contestants on there were aspirational about getting onto the show, so they must have watched it.
But remember, the Biggest Loser only takes losers.
I only know of it through like secondhand, like, you know, and it's usually talking to a chub, and they'll say, yeah, my family watches that show, or I have a friend who watches that show. Like it's always in that context where I think I've pretty effectively filtered my life at this point that I don't tend to meet those people directly. But for sure, that would be a red flag of like, and I don't even know if I would ask. I don't even know if I would be like, yeah, so why do you watch? I would avoid at all costs.
Yeah, I don't know. The only person who's ever brought it up to me are gainers and chasers. Gainers, encouragers, and chasers. Like, it's porn.
That to me, okay, but that to me is still a red flag. Like, if you're a chaser who's getting off on the misery of the fat person, like, even if you're...
It's the misery that I can't handle, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's that to me is still a red flag. You may be telling yourself you're not watching it for that reason, but it's still icky.
Yeah, but all reality shows trade in misery.
Yeah, that's why I hate, by the way, reality shows, if we're broadening outside of like, just fatness, watching reality shows is also kind of a red flag for me.
Yeah, Real Housewives.
Yeah, drama TV. Yeah.
Depending on what kind. There are some perfectly fine reality shows that I think are more like game shows, like Amazing Race. But
like the crafting shows, I have no grudge against.
Or
Project Runway or the Glory Hole show that's glass blowing.
Called Blown Away. I'm watching that now.
The hole you put the glass in before to heat it up.
That is actually called a glory hole?
It's called a glory hole. And in the first season, the producers clearly didn't know that because they kept calling it the glory hole like every 10 minutes.
No, it's worse than that because they wanted to emphasize that each individual glass blower had their own like
glory hole
furnace of this sort. And so they'll say, and everyone has their own personal glory hole. And they keep saying personal glory hole.
I loved it.
Do you not know this? Do you not?
I was just giggling maniacally.
Or they do know this and like, hey,
they know it. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They're Canadian, Michael. They might not.
So I have another one that I thought was, it maybe ties into a lot of the stuff, but it's kind of like the negative self-talk. Oftentimes it's like, I got to get back to the gym. I look at my belly, like, and it's always a thin person. Mm-hmm. This kind of goes into the like nasty version of like our gatekeeping episode before, where it is the like legitimate trigger for, like for rage, I think, where it's being done in bad faith, I guess is what I'm getting at. But it is that thing of like, oh, if I'm around you, I'm going to have to hear those kinds of comments, even if it's not about anyone else, it's about yourself. And if it's about yourself, then I know you are thinking it about other people, and that is just not the vibe I want to be around.
Yeah.
So I have one last one to bring up. Okay, so I'm pointing this out in front of some chasers, so I feel like maybe this is a little awkward, but I have had multiple occasions where I've met a new person. This is specifically more business situations and not dating. I'm talking professional atmospheres, and I find that their eyes keep lingering on my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Or my legs. As I'm sitting next to them, they're like looking at my legs spreading out. Like if you're in a professional atmosphere and you're doing that to me, I don't feel like I'm being respected as a professional, which puts me off my game a little bit. And it makes me not trust you that you're on your game, that you're seeing me as an equal.
My eyes are up here, Don.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't mean this like someone I'm on a date with. Oh, no, you like my body and we're out on a date together.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But in a professional environment, it's very similar to, I think, what a woman must feel like you looking at their boobs. But for me, I'm not assuming you want like positive interactions with me, if you know what I mean.
Well,
right?
Yeah, because in a professional situation, it's no win. It's either you're really attracted to how fat I am and we really don't need that in the space right now, or you're really repulsed by how fat I am and we really don't need that in the space right now.
Yeah, and you just can't control your eyes. You're just so overwhelmed by my fatness.
And I will say that if and when you visit foreign countries, many foreign countries are not at all subtle about where they stare or for how long.
That's what I was thinking. I get less of this when I'm dealing with Americans. Yeah. When I'm dealing with people from overseas, it becomes a problem sometimes.
Oh, yeah. In other countries, it is absolutely not bad manners to stare. You should stare more because it's their fault for being a spectacle.
Dan, did you say you had a closer on this one?
So I think this is the biggest red flag in that it involves medicine. So I have, by default, a new doctor. The doctor that I finally got into a good place with quit. He jumped ship and went to a different medical establishment.
Okay.
And he wasn't great. He was just like, I finally got him trained,
invested a lot of time in that.
So then I got somebody else from the same practice, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like I am still dreading because they hold your prescriptions hostage if you don't come see them. And coming to see them is egregious. And the red flag was, I usually make a point of refusing to get weighed at a doctor's office. Partly it's solidarity, but partly it's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was a physical exam because I hadn't seen him and I hadn't been to the practice in a while. So it's like, we are going to give you a physical exam. And so there's a complete review of the history, showing up all the places their previous history had holes in it. And of course, he's like, well, how much do you weigh? It's not down here. I'm like, why do you need that? And like, he was not willing to move on without my body weight. And I got into, I'm like, I kind of talk about this for a living. It's like, if this is an issue, he's like, oh no. And this is the line I'll never forget. Body weight is a vital sign. No, people, body weight is not a vital sign. It is not pulse and blood pressure. It is not a vital sign. But in his mind, it absolutely was, which is why he could not move on with the physical exam without my body weight. I am never going to go back to him. unless I'm forced to, unless I can't find a doctor in the meantime and I need prescriptions renewed. But wow, jumping ship from a medical office. And I've had this experience over and over again in that office where they're taking my physical history and there is zero eye contact because they've only got 10 minutes to have this meeting, which should probably take half an hour. And they're typing the whole time.
Right.
And listening with half an ear.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is just dehumanizing. It's like an interrogation.
Yeah. Finding the right healthcare already is bad enough. And then trying to find someone who's not going to be fat, shame, slimy is...
Well, the fact that like your body weight is a vital sign? No, it's not. Look it up.
Charming.
I wonder if that's something he truly believes, or he just knows that if he says it to a patient, it'll sort of browbeat them into doing it.
I think he truly believes it. One of the markers of this particular, well, I don't know if this is relevant, but most of the doctors in this practice, I think they are paid less and they went to schools that cost less. And their training has been outside the country in fat-phobic places and things like that. Or at least not that American medical training is not fat-phobic.
Is, like the bastion of forward thinking.
But no, we have a lot more training on that as opposed to you're fat, you're dead.
Right. Well, red flags, people. If you have your own red flags, let us know, because I'm sure we've missed some.
Yeah.
All right, so as the bit today, I just thought we'd have a quick mini discussion, and I'm going to call this the confessional, since we were talking about red flags, and often that is attached to first impressions of people. I was curious, are any of you concerned that you put out red flags, or are there things that you're concerned about with the way people see you when you first meet them? As an example, I'll lead off. Being a fat person and a person of color my entire life, I think I was treated with lower expectations from teachers and a lot of people I met. They expected mental slowness. Let's be kind. People thought I was going to be dumb.
Yeah.
And they treated me accordingly.
Yeah, of course.
And I got so used to it for a long period of my life. I just accepted that was the way I was going to be seen and tried to figure out if there were ways I could take advantage of it. I don't know. But
there definitely are, Don. There definitely are. They underestimate you. They don't see you coming.
Yeah, there can be, but none of them that can be used for forces of good. So my concern is that people will see me as a dumb person by default. I don't know what reasons there are for it now, but those expectations built up in me and it makes me anxious.
Do you do anything to proactively intercept that? Or do you just where are you with it now?
I don't anymore. I also feel like as I've gotten older, that's lessened. I think the age thing makes people push that a little bit more to the side. Well, you've lived this long, I guess you're not a moron. But what I do is I listen to what people say to me, and I gauge if they're expecting me to understand what they're saying or if they're over-explaining. And if they're over-explaining, I make certain assumptions about them. That's me.
Oh, hell, Don, I over-explain all the time.
And I made certain assumptions about you.
I will say for the over-explaining, one of the things I'm looking for is the aha moment or something like that. And so one of the things I've learned is that not everybody shows understanding on their face. Because my default is, as a professional explainer, that's kind of what teaching is. I will keep explaining until I see registration on the other side. And if that's not coming across in the facial expression, oh boy, are we in for a long lecture. And I think that would be the thing that I fear is that I'm very conscious of am I talking too long? Am I getting too nerdy? Am I boring them? Am I giving them an opportunity to speak?
I think I have a good one because by and large, I've put inordinate amounts of energy into coming across as pleasant as possible to any imaginable person at great cost to myself. But I think the one that really does weigh on me when I meet new people, particularly if it's not truly just one-on-one, but even if it is, if we're in a noisy environment or even partially noisy or just a little distracting, coffee shop, there's honking outside the window or you're in a club at, an event, anything that has any degree of and I've noticed if I'm not watching a person talk, maybe more particularly watching their mouth, I miss words and I miss meanings. And it's actually, I've sort of really just gotten how particular that is and how much that impacts how I interact with people. And it takes a lot of effort for me to make sure I'm understanding someone. And if I can't hear them properly, and I have a hard time filtering out like all of the other sounds around us, then yeah, I will feel like I am misunderstanding them, that I'm not going to get a reference they make, I'm going to miss a joke, or that I'll laugh at something that then, oh, this is my absolute nightmare, that I miss something because I can't really hear them that well. And they look at me and I read the cue as, oh, they're looking for a nod of understanding. And so I do. And then they go, oh, so you know about that. What is your, like, they asked me to follow up on it. And it's like, I'm truly just trying to, yeah, like, it's not that I'm trying to like trick them. It's that I just can't, like, the environment that we're in is not going to improve. And my ability to understand them is not going to get any better. And so how do we just keep the conversation going without me telling them to repeat themselves? You just nod and smile.
What's funny about that, Michael, is I was having the same difficulty, maybe to a lesser degree, but I would avoid clubs because you can't have a conversation in a club. I didn't realize that the people who go to clubs are perfectly fine that they only hear 40% of any conversation. They're perfectly fine with that.
It's so baffling to me. It's so baffling. Like, why am I spending time with you if I'm not with you?
And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not just me. You just have a tolerance for it. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Trevor.
I feel like as I've like aged, really kind of like turned off a lot of my like perception filters and like being self-conscious of like internalizing like, oh, someone could be judging this aspect of me. All of that was so loud for so long. But I guess my thing maybe is like kind of like related to Don's thing, like of people thinking I'm stupid, but also like that I'm the like bumbling fat person, like especially like at the grocery store, like navigating space around other people, or like being afraid of being in someone's way, and like when I am in someone's way and I don't realize it. Mm-hmm. But then I also get so pissed off when like it happens at like Trader Joe's, the refrigerated open section by like the cheese or something. And it's like, I need to grab one thing.
Yeah, it's always a traffic jam.
And I'm like trying to get something and then I'm in someone's way. But then there's the like leisurely person walking alongside and having their cart blocking everything.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, I feel such self-consciousness for my body. Like I shouldn't apologize for my body taking up space, but I do that. And you just don't have a goddamn care in the world with your car.
And it's always thin people. It's always so fucking thin people.
I so get you. Oh my God. I so
or the people who have conversations of 3 or more people in doorways.
Fuck off.
I love that.
The one that kills me in that regard is you're walking the sidewalk and then somebody just stops in the middle to like look at their phone or talk to each other.
Oh, that's a very New York complaint.
Oh, shall I walk around you or through you? Which would you prefer?
Yeah.
Like you can step to the side, people. Like there's actually space on the side where we can go around you easily.
Consideration. It's not just a word.
Yeah.
So, Trevor, if our listeners wanted to find a doorway to block and wildly inconvenience Michael, where could they do that?
Well, we're on Instagram and Blue Sky as at Big Fat Gay Pod. We're on Facebook as the Big Fat Gay Podcast. Leave us 5 stars there. Leave us 5 stars and a review on your preferred podcast platform. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/bigfatgaypod. See the articles we talk about at www.bigfatgaypod.com, baby. Maybe you're listening and you're like, wow, this is making some good points, and you're standing in front of the cheese. This resonated so powerfully that you forgot that you wanted to get the triple cream brie. Someone taps on your shoulder and you're so out of it because you're listening to the podcast, and it's Michael and he wants your cheese. So
give me your cheese.